I would like to thank Robert for pulling this off. I think he did an outstanding job so far. This is new to me, but I'll tell you, I can see that it's got a lot of possibilities. So, Robert Graves, thank you.
Thank you.
That says a lot coming from Dennis.
Dennis.
Homer, you mean?
All right, at this time, I'd like to call the Claims and Service Commission to order. First order is to call the roll. Adjutant Contreras, would you now call the roll?
Dennis, if you have two computers on near you or you're next to somebody, you need to kind of separate that because you're like basically bouncing off of like a reverb from that. So I will start the roll call.
Yes.
And by the way, let me premise this by saying that national organization has put out information regarding the conducting of meetings and specifically quorums and using webinars and basically video conferencing for the conducting of official business. And the reason why we can conduct official business is because these are set committees. They are voted on. These are individuals who are specific to this meeting and have the power and authority to vote and conduct meetings. Whereas a chapter, it's different because you'll have individuals who come into a meeting, let's say via web conference or something like that. And so there's not as much control. So that's why we can do this. And so the question has arisen, like, why is it department can have their mid-year conference via this, but we can have our chapter meeting? Well, that is why. A chapter can, if a chapter has an executive committee, they can meet virtually as well, because that's a set committee. But the chapter as a whole cannot, based on national's guidance. So with that clarification, I'd like to call roll. Chairman Dennis Weber.
Here.
Vice Chairman Fred Powers.
Here.
CO Adjutant, Director of Service Daniel Contreras. I'm here. Member Delphine Metcalf Foster. Delphine?
She was there.
Present.
Oh, I see her. I thought I saw her.
Can't you hear me? Can you hear me?
I got you now. Yep, you're good. Commander Michael Kerr.
Present.
Judge Advocate Guy Anastasia.
Glad to be here.
Okay, we're all present and count for.
Thank you, Dan. Are there any additional items for the agenda?
No, there's not.
There are none. Okay. Approval of the minutes from the last meeting. I entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Delphine Metcalf,
So
make that
moved.
motion.
Thank you. We had a unanimous vote, motion passed, and the minutes have been approved. Approval of the agenda. I entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Curso moves.
Powers makes a motion to approve.
Delphine second.
All those in favor signify by aye.
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 Thank you. Okay, I now call on Adjutant Dan Contreras, National Third Junior Vice, for the Director's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's my pleasure to report to this commission once again. The data that I'm about to share highlights the hard work and dedication of our staff as they seek to improve the lives of those that answered America's call to fight for our freedom. significantly in the response to the COVID-19 pandemic and the California fire disaster this year. Since our last regular meeting in January, we've had a few changes to the DAV team. And, you know, unfortunately, due to the COVID-19, our organization had to respond to those changes of the VA policies and basically the need to keep our community of veterans safe. Because of those changes, we're getting reserved from somebody. So can you guys mute? Is that working now? Thank you so much. Okay. When you want to interject something or if the motion's called, then just unmute yourself and we won't have that reverb problem. But because of those changes, we've had to furlough the majority of our transportation coordinators. And, you know, with the exception of Dave Strobin in San Diego and Liza Thornton in Long Beach, she's working with us on some initiatives that we've got going on that are going to help streamline our reporting processes and potentially just make requesting a ride and also coordinating volunteer drivers a lot easier when we resume normal practices. We've been in contact with the VA system about the necessity to get our VTN program back in gear. And we look forward to the moments we have the approval to put our team back to work. And so with a collaborated effort with the VA, our volunteers, and you know, our employees, you know, we want to be ready to get things going again when it comes to our transportation program. So, however, just because we have been limited in one area, we've been able to propel into the future of implementing new position into the organization. And our newest team member, Enrique Ramos, he's our IT technician manager. And I'll tell you what we have going on with our basically our webinar for this mid-year conference, as well as what we were able to do with our last finance meeting and our town hall meeting that we did in November for Veterans Day. Enrique's been a variable asset, you know, a very huge asset to us in regards to his technical expertise, as well as he is a phenomenal service officer in Escondido. You can see, like I said, the implementation of our virtual scheduling system for service officers is something else that's going to help us, that Enrique's been working on with Robert in helping coordinate virtual meetings with veterans and our DSOs. So you can actually go online and set up an appointment. And, you know, so it's just an advent that was necessary, but we can continue even after the pandemic. And if you've been to our website recently, you've probably seen the chatbots we have created to help visitors navigate to what services that they are looking for. And they can do this in much faster than having to like go through all of the particular links and looking for information, because the chatbot will go ahead and direct them. I know that we can still answer phones and here at headquarters, even when we are not here in the office, calls are being screened and they are filtered and sent to myself or anybody else in regard to a particular question or need that arises. So we're not just focusing on the chat bot as our only resource for communication with anybody who may have an inquiry either on service or other elements of support that our department has. But continuing the momentum for recognition, we have to acknowledge that our DSOs are continuing to do outstanding work. And from January 20th to January 2020 to 2021, our DSOs have worked very hard. They've done nearly 7,000 contacts and filed, close to 2,500 claims, and greater than 1,100 of those have approved or appointed the DAV as their power of attorney. And they are recruiting members, 67 new members to our organization. And before having to shut down, our transportation coordinators team had 2 months of really solid work, and they were on track to a great year as well. So we're grateful for their patience, and also just what they were able to do prior to having to suspend our transportation program. But they transported over 3,200 veterans and calculating to close to 5,800 miles. And that's in over 3,500 hours of volunteer hours that were accomplished. We bought 4 vans last year for the transportation program for La Jolla and for Sepulveda. And so I'm really thankful for the wonderful, passionate teams that we have, our TCs, our DSOs, and support staff, and headquarters. We have a remarkable team, and especially in this time, have not rested on the laurels of our department. You come to headquarters and you can see that there's a lot of organization that's happened. Preparation for when we do resume normal practices and have conventions and conferences. Really, you can tell that they care about everybody, and we're working on ways to stay in communication. And the national organization has really been a great catalyst for us to direct services like the unemployment relief program, continuing with disaster relief when we have some continuation of fires, and it just is legislative work continues. There's been quite a few town hall meetings that have happened, and we've all participated in, and I know individually, like Delphine has been really a staunch advocate and a subject matter expert on a lot of town hall meetings. She's in high demand for that. So thank you, Delphine, for what you're doing in regards to just keeping DAV visible. And I think that's what our membership meeting came away with, especially Michael Silver's comments about, flashing DAV and not waiting to be asked, but going up. And if you see somebody who's a veteran, or if somebody is wearing a uniform, especially in those highly populated military communities. Altogether, these individuals and you, our committees and members, are just really what keeps our organizations, really the stream of what we do, still alive and viable and ready for the challenges when they arise now or in the future. So always keep DAV first in mind. We keep the promises always to the men and women who serve. So thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dennis, you can unmute yourself now. Just push the little red speaker on the left-hand side and it'll unmute you. On the left bottom side. There you go.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the director's report.
Curso moves.
Delphine, second that motion.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. At this time, I call on Frank Torres, DAV National Service Officer from the Oakland office. I don't, Frank, are you in the audience? Yes. Okay. Okay, Frank, would you please give your report?
Frank, you're not able to be heard, Frank. You see your mouth moving and you're off mute. Chairman, would you go to the next NSO supervisor until Frank can figure it out? Chairman Weber?
Hey, Diane, why don't you go ahead and start yours?
Diana from the Sacramento office, are you there? Diana? Diana, you're there. Okay, can you hear me, Diana? Go ahead, Diana.
Can you hear me? Are
Yeah,
we
I
good?
can. Yeah.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Chairman Weber and members of the committee. We sincerely appreciate the invitation and the opportunity for the Sacramento DAV National Service Officer to present our report to the DAV Department of California Claims and Service Commission. We are thankful to be able to meet virtually to ensure we continue to provide the service to the veteran community in Northern California area, and are grateful for the amazing support of CEO Adjutant National 4th Junior Commander Dan Contreras and his staff in Santa Fe Springs. The accomplishments of we as National Service Officers, Transition Service Officers, Department Service Officers, and Chapter Service Officers achieve every day on behalf of California's veterans and their families would not be possible without the Department of California's team. This report will cover the period of July 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2020. DAV Sacramento is elated to provide our report to this commission, advising how we continue to empower veterans to lead high-quality lives with respect and dignity. In mid-March 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic quickly changed how we live, work, and serve. Our office was one of the first to transition to a work-at-home environment, closing on a Friday afternoon and reopening the following Monday from our homes. Our seamless transition was made possible in great part by our support staff member, Narita Garcia. She diligently worked to prepare laptops, programs, and equipment to be used from our home. Realizing the veteran population in our area may not be able to contact us directly, we quickly established a plan to reach out and provide our contact information to the patient advocates and social workers located at the Mather VA Hospital and the McClellan VA Clinic. With this network of professionals sending us referrals on a regular basis, our office was able to exceed our office activities from the previous year, fulfilling our promises to the men and women who served. Additionally, we would be remiss if we did not mention the continued referrals from the DAV chapters 6, 15, 35, 59, and 93 the chapters in our local area. Team Sacramento consists of myself, National Service Officer Tobias Montoya, and support staff Narita Garcia. Thanks to the dedication and teamwork that is shown daily in our office and in support of the DAV mission, a veteran that was assisted by the Sacramento office was spotlighted in the June-August 2020 issue of DAV magazine. With assistance from the Sacramento office and PenFed, this veteran was able to avoid becoming homeless. We are dedicated to a single purpose, fighting for the interests of California's injured veterans and educating the public about great sacrifices and needs of the wounded, ill, and injured veterans transitioning back to civilian life. Chairman Weber, you and the members of this commission with diligence, respect, and wholehearted efforts provide immense support to the claims and service programs of injured veterans, their families, and survivors. Without these programs, many veterans would not receive the quality assistance they need to handle their VA benefits. Sacramento DAV thanks you for the opportunity to share our accomplishments. It is apparent that the department remains steadfast in its pursuit of this mission and has not wavered in its commitment to ensure each veteran gets the services they so rightfully deserve. Mr. Chairman, this concludes my report. I will be happy to address any questions you or the committee may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Diana. Am I being heard? Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Diana, very much. At this time, I'd like to call on James Gallagher from the San Diego office for his report.
Dennis, great to see you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Great
You
to
look a
see
little
all
older,
of you.
Jim,
Where the hell you been?
you look older, Jim.
I am older. Another month, I'll be 70. I'll be joining you.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, good morning, Chairman Weber, past National Commanders George Steese, Delphine Metcalf Foster, always a delight to see you, and Department Commander Mike Kerr, Adjutant Contreras, and members. It's always a pleasure, with great pleasure, when I address the committee and speak about our department service officers and support staff in the San Diego, California region. This morning, I'll cover our service offices at the VA Medical Center in La Jolla, along with the Transportation Corps. What? I thought I heard somebody. Along with our transportation coordinator for the period from June 1, 2020 to January 1, 2020. It's going to be a short report because that's it. Everything basically has been closed. However, first, unfortunately, when COVID took a toll on our department staff throughout the majority of 2020 with furloughs, closures, and the like, however, the staff has been up to the challenge during this time until the present. With the implementation of the Brown Water Navy Act, that came about in January 2020, the VA has modified it. New presumptives, new in different areas, diseases, 3 new conditions: hyperthyroidism, Parkinson's-like, bladder cancer were immediately added and began dispensing those claims in January of this year. That's why so many veterans in California and the country consider the DAV the preeminent service organization. Because of the extensive training the DSOs, TSOs, and NSOs take part in daily, their work has helped get these new programs on their feet. Each active chapter and department member, our department and national staffs, ensure the jobs get done right. Department service officers, transportation coordinators, support staff, and volunteers work each day to ensure the job is done correctly and without fail, because they know, and the veterans of this country know, we will never leave any comrade behind. Our office in the VA Medical Center in La Jolla is manned by Department Service Officer Rich Randolph, now in his 15th year of service. His patience, understanding, mature, and his ability to delve into the heart of a problem have earned great respect and rapport among veterans in San Diego. As a veterans advocate, he's an active listener to the veterans' concerns. He's an active member of DA Dick Cosgriff Chapter 2, serving as its senior vice commander, and provides the membership of our chapter with his monthly updates of policies, guidelines, and other VAMC information. He provides consistent, quality, and error-free claims work in the Department of Veterans Affairs from June of 2020 to present. Mr. Randolph has prepared and submitted 505 claims, received 250 powers of attorney for DAV representation, and interviewed approximately 1,269 people. Dave Strobin. I want to thank Robert Graves. Him and I worked on getting Dave back on the payroll. And the only way we could do that is to bring him into our office, where he was working all the time, getting volunteers to get physicals, get ready, get vans modified. So there was no downtime really for Dave. He is an excellent provider of service in the transportation area. Once he gets on board, he's now back at the VAMC La Jolla. Once he gets on board again, the production numbers will be enormous. They still have not opened it up for us to drive. Even though VA van drivers can drive, we can't. So hopefully that'll change here pretty quickly with new leadership at the voluntary services coordinator. So we're giving him all the luck we can. Anything, obviously, he knows, anything he can do or I can do for him, we'll get that done. The backbone of our transportation network, you know what it is. I know what it is. It's our outstanding volunteer corps members. For as long as it'd been off, when Dave came in to contact them, to a man and woman, sure, when do we start? And that to me shows that it's one of the best, and the backbone of those are the volunteers. They do the day in, day out grunt work. They're out there. They want to be out there. They want to serve veterans like themselves every day. So to me, they've kept the faith. Their time, expertise, and energy ensures the men and women who served are given the very best. And as I always do, a sincere thank you to each of our volunteers, whether they're here or not. And I implore anybody that's out there listening, get involved, become a volunteer. It isn't like a 8 to 5 job. It could be 2 hours, 4 hours, but get involved. It's needed, and especially when they do open up, it's going to be needed even more. Department Secretary Tomiko Ferguson at MCAS Miramar. She keeps all the schedules for classes, maintains the appointment logs, gets letters out to commands, and keeps a very busy office running smoothly. We had a request the other day to have them go to MCAS Yuma. We do the classes, and most of them are not virtual. They'll review records. All the TSOs are out there, but now, since Arizona doesn't have a TSO corps, we'll do it. We'll get involved in Arizona. Is it poaching? I don't care, as long as we serve the veterans. And her ability to handle it all is simply amazing. That's all I can say about her. She's been on board going on close to 10 years. Department personnel have ensured operational administrative expertise in the departments and for the veterans we serve. Chairman Weber, you and the members of this commission, with your consistent, diligent, and wholehearted, determined efforts toward these programs, gives each of our service officers the ability to create and maintain confidence, respect, and professionalism despite the pandemic in the Service Corps, which allows deserving veterans and their dependents to receive quality advocacy in the handling of the Department of Veterans Affairs. Our office is not open. However, yesterday, I think I had 64 emails, 12 phone calls, and more phone calls to return on the national CMS. So I'm a supervisor. I shouldn't be doing anything. That's just my job right now. Is anything we can get, we'll do. So as I said, your advocacy and wholehearted determined efforts toward these programs gives each of our service officers the ability to create and maintain confidence, respect, and professionalism despite any pandemic. The Service Corps, which allows deserving veterans and their dependents to receive quality advocacy, will get just that. They always have, and they always will. I want to thank my national service officers, Assistant Supervisor Guy Anastasia, who's now headed out to sea, as you can all tell. Soon he'll be back and able to participate. Bon voyage. Mary Patterson, Lee Thomas, Jasmine Bravo, Nancy Casey, and Carlos Gallardo, along with our transition service officers, and say a prayer for Suey Lee. He came down in December with COVID. He is not back to work. If there's a disease or a condition out there that's looking for a home, I'll just give him Suey's number. He's been hit with everything, but he's planning on coming back to work. So hopefully he'll be back to work real soon. Again, John Hood, Jonna Barker, Helen Pagdalau, and Sedge Willingham. My national secretaries, Elizabeth Pena, our lead national secretary, which he is, and Cindy Mendoza, and department receptionist Barb Lujan. They keep us all in order, and for their individual collective drive, they all make going to work pleasurable. I want to thank Quan Tillman, our national area supervisor, Frank Torres, the supervisor of Oakland, California, National Service Office, and the supervisor of Los Angeles, DAV office, Supervisor Leroy Acosta, who dressed up for this event. I didn't know it was tie thing. I see Fred with his tie on. No, wait a minute, I don't see anybody with that on. So Leroy is the culprit. And also Diana Kamek, who is in the Sacramento office. Thanks for all the support you give me and my staff. I'd like to take a moment by recognizing our outstanding department support staff, Director of Operations Robert Graves, Field Office Manager Lee Paulzine, Tammy Hernandez, Desiree Munoz, for their outstanding jobs they do in our department and for its veterans daily. I will say it once again, my sincere appreciation and thanks for getting the job done to Daniel Contreras, our adjutant. And last meeting, you were the third junior vice. Now you're the fourth again. I don't know what you did in that hour, but something happened. But again, Dan and I have worked together for many years. He's been proactive, hands-on, involved each day by showing his deep concern for the well-being of our membership, veterans, and DAV personnel throughout the San Diego community. Much appreciated, boss. Mr. Chairman, in conclusion, from outreach to information and support of these individuals, it reflects their commitment to the DAV's strategic plan of fulfilling our promises to the men and women who have served. This concludes my report, Mr. Chairman. I'll be happy to entertain any questions, comments you or this commission, and I can see all, have for me. Thanks all, guys. Stay well. If you want me to keep talking, I'll do it for you.
This is Frank Torres. I had a call in. Does everybody hear me?
Gotcha.
Yes, Frank.
Yes.
Yeah. I was just wrapping up with Jim, thanking him for his service. Jim?
Yes, sir.
Frank, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Would you like to give your report now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I was
you're
doing
on.
so well
Go ahead.
before too.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Chairman Weber and members of the committee. We want to take this opportunity to thank you for inviting DAV Oakland to this meeting of the DAV Department of California Claims and Service Commission. We are grateful to be here among dedicated friends and partners, reinforcing our commitment to the mission of those who have served. I thank this commission and CEO Adjutant National 3rd Junior Vice Commander Dan Contreras and the professional staff at Santa Fe Springs for their continued support of the work we do every day on behalf of the California wounded, ill, and injured veterans and their families. This report covers the time frame from July 1st through December 31st, 2020. COVID-19 has been declared a pandemic because of the speed for which it has spread globally. In the face of this new challenge, DAV continues to find safe and smart avenues to assist our veterans and their families in order to persevere our dedication to a single purpose, fulfilling our promises to the men and women who served. As stated by Leroy Acosta, supervisor of the LA office, we continue to review, respond to questions through emails, correspondence, and phone calls. National Service Officers also continue to identify veterans who are eligible for DAV COVID-19 unemployment relief checks. We continue to provide comprehensive representation for our clients via video conference hearings before the BVA law judges and Veterans Benefits Administration, VBA. We have also taken on the responsibility of contacting our clients with pending BAV hearings requests to find out if they would like to opt for virtual hearings from home to safeguard the safety of our clients, VBA law judges, and our dedicated NSO Corps. We have conducted virtual DSO training and seminars for VBA social workers to discuss such topics as fiduciary service, caregiver programs versus aid and attendance, housebound, and Blue Water Navy updates, to name but a few. The DAV Oakland team consists of Deborah Nunu, support staff, Patrick Usis, NSO, Hoy Evans, senior NSO, Anthony Simpson, senior NSO, Bob Cole, assistant supervisor, came to us from Baltimore, and myself. We wanted to thank the Commission for the support that it provides to the Claims and Service Program for the injured veterans, their families, and survivors. As we know, the historic wildfires season, over 7,000 separate fires that devastated California in August of 2020 alone, destroyed more than 1.4 million acres, double the combined size of Los Angeles, San Diego, San Jose, and Sacramento. With the collaboration among the DAV Department of California, NSCs, SECs, DSOs, chapter commanders, VBA public contact coaches in Oakland, and bloggers, we have been able to assist countless veterans and their families remotely and safely from our offices and homes with disaster relief drafts used for temporary shelter, food, water, and clothing. A special thanks goes out to the DSO Michael Silver at the Marina VA Outpatient Clinic, DSO Mario Flores with the frontliners at the Fresno VA Medical Center, and Robert Graves, Director of DAV Department of Operations, for their continued and endearing fraternal support. As we proudly celebrate a century of service, the DAV has become stronger than ever, boldly facing the challenges set forth by the global COVID-19 pandemic and the residuals. We will continue to champion and cause with the new administration and before Congress, leading the way to procure adequate health care and benefits for all our wounded, ill, and injured veterans. It is evident now more than ever before that the department remains standfast in this pursuit of this mission and has not wavered in its commitment to ensure that all veterans receive the services and benefits they so rightfully deserve. Future DSO training and DAV service outreach dates will be announced as soon as the information becomes available to us. Mr. Chairman, this concludes my report. I will be happy to address any questions you or the committee may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank, very much. Are there any questions? Thank you. Hearing none, we'll move on. I think the last office to hear from would be Los Angeles. Mr. Leroy Acosta, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Would you please start?
Chairman Weber and distinguished members of the committee, thank you for inviting DAV Los Angeles to this meeting of the Department of California Claims and Service Commission. As you know, DAV is a nonprofit veteran service organization comprised of more than 1 million wartime service disabled veterans. We're dedicated to a single purpose: empowering veterans to lead high quality lives with respect and dignity. DAV Los Angeles is pleased to provide our report to this commission and offer our views on issues pertinent to DAV service to Los Angeles area veterans and their families. We're proud to work with DAV Department of California to ensure veterans and their families can access the full range of benefits available to them. The period covered in this report is July 1 to December 31, 2020. Flexibility is key to proactive advocacy through DAV. Constant, diligent, practical, and positive efforts eliminate unanticipated challenges such as lockdowns, furloughs, personnel assembly, and travel restrictions. As we progress toward our next victory, we remain poised to overcome the challenges in the wake of this pandemic. It has been said that COVID-19 is the worst public health crisis in more than a century, intertwined with the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. Rest assured, your DAV service officers continue to advocate for veterans' benefits, focusing on what we can do rather than what restrictions may be imposed. We review and respond to veterans' inquiries through email and phone calls. Service officers continue to represent veteran claimants in hearings via video teleconferences with veterans and the Veterans Benefit Administration. We have conducted virtual and in-person information seminars and claims assistance outreach as well. Our combined national and department force was illustrated in the cover story of the November-December 2020 issue of DAV magazine. It was titled, "Between Impulse and Action, Preventing Tragedy, DAV Responds to a Struggling Veteran in Mental Health Crisis with Life-Saving Resources." Robert Graves, DAV Department of California Director of Operations, and NSO Assistant Supervisor Adam Barnes' actions potentially saved a veteran's life. As we look forward to 2021, we seek and anticipate continued success. No matter what the future brings, DAV's strength through service will endure to help veterans apply for and obtain the benefits they have earned. Chairman Weber, DAV Los Angeles thanks the commission, for this opportunity to share our views in this report for your consideration. We look forward to working with you in service to our nation's ill and injured veterans and their families. I'm happy to answer any questions you or members of the committee may have.
Thank you, Leroy. Are there any questions? Hearing none, thank you, Leroy, for your fine report. I lost my place in these pages. Have I heard from all the supervisors? Yes?
Yes, you have.
Oh, okay.
Chairman, you're on number 9.
Okay, at this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the National Service Officers reports.
Fred Powers, so moves.
Kerr seconds.
Thank you, Fred and Michael. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. There are no additional items on the agenda. At this time, I'd like to ask those in attendance for additional comments if you would like to. Commander Michael Kerr, would you have any comments you'd like to share?
Yeah, I'll keep it brief, but I really want to applaud all the work of all of the supervisors out there and their staff for all the great work that they've done this year. I know it's been pretty much an unprecedented year with COVID, and seeing the work that they're still able to do shorthanded and with the pandemic going on is truly extraordinary. And I really appreciate all of their hard work.
Thank you. Fred Powers.
Yeah, thank you, Dennis. I appreciate being on the committee. The DAV NSOs are doing fantastic work. I know the department NCR officers are doing excellent. I have from chapter 20, Larry Walker, who we put through the training, who is working with the Los Angeles office, and he's doing outstanding work, and the cooperation we have out of Los Angeles is outstanding. The same as San Diego and Oakland at the same time, because they're all there to help the vets. California, I believe, has one of the best NSO staffs in the country. But thank you very much for allowing me to be on the committee and attending today. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. Delphine Metcalf Foster, please.
Yes, I want to thank all of them also. They've done a fantastic job in going through what we have to go through this year. And especially to Frank in the Oakland office for taking the lead on getting all the veterans that needed help out of San Francisco VA. I referred a lot of veterans to them. They've taken advice with it. Done a great job, and I appreciate it when I go around to different places to say I belong to the California Department of Veterans DAV.
Thank you. Thank you. Any of the supervisors have any additional comments?
I'm just glad to see you all alive. That's all I'm glad for. Everybody
Well,
looks healthy, and a whole lot of people that aren't, so keep them in mind. But thank you for allowing me to address the committee.
Thank you.
I have a question for Delphine. Delphine,
Yes.
I saw a picture the other day of two little girls that was taken quite a few years ago. Are you the one on the right?
No, if you look at the picture now, Dennis, the third row at the end with my eyes looking like this,
Oh,
up in the air, just like I always do. That was me, no smile, and taking it very serious.
well, good, good. It looks like it's got some mileage on it.
Oh, it does, hon.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to share with all of you my appreciation for the service that you put in on a daily basis. This pandemic has really churned up the state of California and the nation. And it makes things very, very tough, especially for those that do get sick and they're not able to have their families around. They have to pretty much do this on their own. And I know it's a strain, and it certainly doesn't do much for the blood pressure, but I think for the most part, the DAV has overcome a lot of the hardships, and they have been able to function by doing some in-house modifications. And I have to thank you all for that. You keep the wheels moving, and I think that's the name of the game. So thank you very much. And I do have a question for Dan. There was a page in here, Dan, about it looks like a resolution. Dan,
Yeah, I'm,
is that something I should bring up, Dan? A resolution?
basically, this resolution is just something to reintroduce what I talked about earlier in regard to the ability to be able to the resolution is regarding the legislative program. And if you look at it each year, when what we have is, it was part of Leroy's report.
Okay,
So Leroy didn't address it, so I'm just kind of trying to see what it is, but so yeah, I
Okay.
guess, Leroy, are you there?
I certainly am, and I basically was just shouting out, my report was just, my oral report were just a brief statement of my overall report, but concerning resolutions, as we all know, resolutions are vital to our legislative program, which is made up exclusively of resolutions adopted each year at our national convention. Therefore, we always encourage each DAV member, chapter, and department, they should ensure that resolutions are written and reintroduced and submitted every year. Without a resolution, DAV cannot advocate for critical issues facing ill and injured veterans, their families, and survivors. DAV members have a responsibility to enable our organization to continue to fight and keep the promises to America's veterans.
Okay, all right, so I'll tell you, that's one thing our department has been very proactive, but I think it's always good to just continuously remind how essentially a chapter can introduce something that can not only change how Department of Veterans Affairs reacts to that specific veteran or that specific community, but for veterans across the United States, as well as from now and into the future. So a very good point, Leroy. But I guess, Mr. Chairman, I don't have to tap dance that one because that's what that was.
thank you.
Yeah, but good thing to bring that up.
Thank you. Now, before I close, I did forget to call on Leroy. I'm not Leroy, but Guy. Guy, do you have any comments you'd like to share? Guy?
No, I'd just like to say thank you, Chairman Weber, for this great meeting, adapting to these times. And I know you're not too computer literate, so I think you're doing a great job. Thank the department for putting this together. But I'd really like to thank James Bogan. He's taken the COVID crisis seriously. He's the only one on here that has a mask on. So thank you, James.
Thank you,
Keeping us
James.
safe.
Thanks, James.
I was born 83 years ago with a mask.
What about that hat?
I haven't even seen Mr. Bogan, but anyway, the next scheduled meeting of the Claims and Service Commission will be announced at a later date. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Powers, so moves.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, and the motion carried. Thank you all very much for your enthusiasm and participation. And let's keep America strong. Let's keep the DAV strong, and especially California. Thank you all, and stay healthy, please. Thank you.
Thank you.